This week on the program, with everything on our minds this week, the Arabs and the Jews, unmasking, and knocking out old white dudes, let's not forget the question on our minds today. Should I pay those ever more increasing HOA fines for simply flying an American flag in my yard? Later, assimilation gets integrated, and finally, we will look at two very different cases that will have you asking yourself, does this punishment fit this crime? Your emergency exit is right this way.
This exit's for emergencies only.
Oh, we needed to change that. I could have given you the new photo for that.
That's right.
Oh, welcome to another episode of Emergency Exit Podcast. It is episode 204. Today is May 14th, 2021. We are broadcasting live from K-Brand Studios, 10 on 10, in our floating tin can. Far above the world. God, you need to work on that. I'm Los.
I think it's a running thing now that I messed up. That's the thing.
I wish we had the echo back. That was fucking killer.
That was fun.
I'm Los. You can follow me on Twitter at That's Right Los. Joining me, as always, is Tio Tomas himself, David, exactly Aguilar.
Damn right.
That's right. Making sure we're streaming live and looking good is my man, Brandon, not Juror 52 Mitchell.
How did you find out?
He is not Juror 52. Trust me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's literally, they put that on his birth certificate now because they're making sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're making sure.
It's been amended so many times, guys, my birth certificate.
Amended?
Yeah.
Oh, one of my headphones died.
Like the Constitution?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, maybe because I pressed that button? I don't know.
Oh, uh-oh.
There it is. Anyways, welcome to the show. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot of things to talk about.
A lot of things.
So let's go ahead and get all the fun stuff out of the way first before we get a little serious. That's right. Let's go ahead and start with the Brew World Order.
It's the Brew World.
This week we've got 512 Wit by 512 Brewing Company. This here is a Belgian-style wheat beer brewed with coriander and grapefruit peel. This is, I've seen this around. This is a beer that I normally wouldn't get because I'm just not a big, like, Hefe fan, wheat beer, wit beer, but especially in the Belgian style. Belgian style is... how do I describe it? It's got more clove taste to it. Just cloves in general.
Yeah.
I'm not into cloves of garlic maybe, but they didn't put cloves of garlic.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100% on that.
Do cloves grow like cloves?
I think so. Like 4-leaf cloves?
Maybe.
We just planted some clover in the backyard, but it is different than clove. Because I had the same question. I was like, oh, well, you get cloves from clover, but no, they're two separate plants.
And do you like when you smoke jarums? Those are clove cigarettes.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, but not clovers.
Are those clovers?
It could be.
Well, anyways, we've got this wheat beer here, conscious craft beer from Austin here, and we've already had the chance to sip it down and give our think about it for a little bit, so we can give you guys a good rating of 1 to 5. That's right. 1 to 10. Excuse me. That's
1 to
right.
10.
Brandon, the Hard Hat Mitchell, not Juror 52. What's up? What do you think about this beer?
You know, it's not bad. It's definitely got a lot of flavor. That coriander, the grapefruit is very subtle, not a whole lot, which I kind of like. It adds to it. It's very, very heavy though, so you know, I could get a 6-pack and it would probably last for a couple months, kind of thing. So it's not something I would regularly
just
go
take a sip
for.
out of it a day.
Yeah, exactly. Just work it down. So that being said, I've got to give it probably a 4. That's right.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, David, what do you think about this?
Well, you know, I don't think I'm a big fan of the clove or the coriander taste. Like every time I have a beer that has that in it, it kind of loses interest, especially as it gets like a little bit warmer. And I'm with you on it being like heavy. I just feel heavy after a few sips, and I'm just kind of like, I'd rather drink the whiskey. So I'm gonna give this a 4 also. Yeah.
All right, that's not great for it. All right, so I'm getting the spice, a little bit of spiciness from the coriander. I get a lot of clove taste, gross, slight acidity, mild bitter. Just like you were saying,
Yeah, the
mild,
bitter.
that mild grapefruit bitter. As far as taste, I do not like this style of beer. It almost tastes like there's like cigarette butts in it. And
Kind
that's
of.
fucking gross.
Yeah.
4 that's right.
Wow.
So solid 4
Wow. That's
all
a
around.
solid 4.
And that's how you know it's actually a 4.
Yeah.
It's below average,
Yeah.
below median. This is not a good beer.
And you could tell by even the label. It looks like they didn't really try.
Yeah. Well, they're going for simplistic minimalist style. It's just not that great of a beer, and I don't recommend it. All right. That's the Brew World Order.
You damn right it is.
Not going to be in our tournament.
I mean, I'm going to finish it.
No, we got it. We're not fucking sap.
It's the Brew World Order.
All right. Well, I think, should we wait to do bonsai on the other side, or do you guys want to do that now?
I've actually been meaning to bring this up off air, and I know I was like, say, don't have these conversations on air, but we should definitely split it up. We got a couple good segments. Let's wait till the other side.
Okay, so we'll get to the other side. Stick around for the other side. We'll talk about this wonderful bold cypress. Look at that thick trunk, but you guys can't really. Maybe you can see it a little better now.
Oh no, your hands were better. Yeah. There you go.
Anyways, we'll get into that later.
Shape.
All right, so there's exciting news.
Yes.
Exciting news here in our family, the Emergency Exit family. I think the only way we can really start off or even say anything is just by playing a video. Should we do that video?
And let's do it.
I think we're going to play this video for you. And it's a very, like I said, it's a very special announcement. And I think we've been sort of hinting at it the last couple weeks. But I think it's finally a fish. And not like a gay fish or anything.
No,
It's
not like that.
It's official.
Yeah.
So
I'm not coming out of the
why
closet.
don't you go ahead and show us what you got here, Mr. Hardhat? Dicks. Gross. Aw.
I was checking the pregnancy test there. Shout out to my cousin for taking those photos.
Well, how about that? That's a gross picture to have. It's annoying your partner videos, those pranks on your partner. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We don't know if it's a boy or girl, but
Not yet.
knowing that he's a Spanish man, it's probably going to be a boy.
Oh, you think?
They all start off boys.
We'll see.
Yeah. Do you have mostly boys in your family?
Yeah, it was me
There
and
you
my
go.
and I
It's
had
gonna
brothers. And yeah, majority boys. But my dad's side majority boys. So yeah, everybody's been boys.
Well, congratulations, Alyssa and David. So I thought I'd compile a list here of the top 5 baby names that I thought you guys should consider, okay? So we could start with number 5 here, and it's a pretty obvious one, Tomas.
Tomas.
Now, we call him Tio, just because, we're going to have to play that game. But we call him Tio, but we know his name is Tio
Tomas.
Tomas.
Yeah. So Tio Tomas.
Tio Tomas.
For number 5. Okay. You guys got to comment below which one it is.
Yeah, which one do you like best?
So number 5, Tio Tomas.
Tio Tomas. Number 4, Joe Obama. Joe Obama Aguilar. Joe Obama Aguilar. A little tribute to, the 44th president and his running mate.
Obama.
Yeah, it's your friend, President Erect. And then you have number 3, Carlos. What a
Carlos.
classic
Oh,
name right
wow.
there for an Aguilar. Carlos Aguilar.
A solid,
It sounds
solid,
Mexican,
thick.
and people will think he's Mexican.
Yeah.
And that's probably a lot of points that he could, you're setting him up for the future.
Yeah, I am.
As long as he doesn't look white, I think it's going to be perfect. Number 2. I think you like this one. Jesus.
Yeah, that's my first name.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Jesus Jr. JJ, my man.
JJ. Chewy Jr.
And finally, number 1.
I think this is my wife is gonna love this one. She's probably
Top 5 baby names. Number 1, Donald Aguilar.
the Don. We'll call him the Don.
He's like, I want a diaper. I want some milk.
Not that milk. I want
Pinche
the
Joto. Pinche Maricon.
I want the Go diaper.
It's the best one.
It's the best. It's so good on the butt.
I'll make them all golden. I'll make them all go.
No,
So
I'm off the
congratulations.
pacifier now.
There you go.
I'm on the. It's todo.
Well, that's the Carlos. That's if we name him Carlos. He'll be fucking Chicano like crazy. Hey, ¿qué onda, Dad? I'm fucking hungry. Hey, what you gonna give me to eat, man?
But seriously, teach him Spanish while he's a kid.
Oh hell yeah, dude. We want to teach him Spanish and sign language.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign language. You know, you can just like teach him how to write. Okay, so let's. You can teach him how to use a fucking cell phone.
Hold up a fucking sign.
I've communicated with deaf people just using cell phones. I mean, I can still talk to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not dumb.
No, I know. Well, they have sign language.
So. I do like when you see them like on like Joe Obama's like White House pressing. They gotta like always put like the bottom third is just some crazy fucking haired.
I used to do that
signer.
for a church back in Brownsville.
Yeah.
I would do the worship service. I would do the sign language.
You know sign language? You're fluent in sign language?
I used to, man.
What do you mean you used to?
I haven't done it like in almost 10 years.
I'll tell you one thing.
But we want to start learning so we can teach the baby.
I was driving home. And we had to take a different route because they've closed off a road closer. So we're taking back roads. And I put on some music of bands that I haven't really listened to in like 10, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And the lyrics just come right back to you. Mm-hmm. How dare you try to tell me you can't remember sign language? Oh, I used to speak fluently, but
it
like a cop out. You liar.
There's times where I'll listen.
Biden.
No, there's times where I listen to certain worship songs, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I know King. And like certain things, world and savior and all these things, but having a conversation is harder now.
It's a very difficult conversation.
But you know what I was thinking? I was laughing to myself because I was thinking to myself, how do deaf people have a conversation in the car? It must be a really quiet drive home.
Didn't we play a while back? This is way back. I think Jimmy was on the show, but it was like an intense argument between somebody on their phone talking to their like deaf friend, but they're both deaf, so they're like. Oh, yeah. Remember that? And she was all fucking. And you can hear their like mouth moving because they're like.
Yeah. But driving?
No, they were talking to each other, but like. Oh. You can't. I don't even know what they're talking about, but it was like, you motherfucking bitch, you slept with my dude. Something. I don't know what it was, but.
Well, I'm thinking. But I'm thinking. Could you imagine driving? How do you have an argument driving as a deaf person? Like you can't like. You know what I mean? You gotta.
You don't.
You don't. That's what I'm saying. It's a quiet drive home.
If they're not looking at you, they're not listening. And I used to live in an apartment where underneath the bottom apartment there was a deaf group, and they had parties that were so goddamn fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like the loudest you've ever heard because they can't hear the music. They can only feel it. So they got to turn it up with the subwoofers on so that they can hear it.
Yep.
Or feel it rather.
Wow. The more you know, man.
Well, the ding, ding, ding. All right, let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about masks.
Is that a black person barbecuing?
Hell yeah, for his white wife and his black kids.
Racist.
What? Shut up. All right, COVID-19. If you have been vaccinated, you're gone through your 2 weeks cure period. Guess what? The CDC now says you're good to go. No more masks. And I'm stoked to hear this announcement. I got a little story to tell. So yesterday, I'm at work, and my immediate boss comes in, and he's all like, and this is the owner of the company. He goes, "All right, if you're vaccinated, no more masks." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, boss, you got it." So I'm sort of relaying that to the other guys, and one of the guys just says, I don't want to say his name, but it rhymes with Nacho.
Okay.
I announced it to him, and he didn't say anything.
Ooh.
All he started typing on the computer. And so I get an email a little later in the day saying, despite what you've heard, the mask mandate has not been lifted. And mind you, I just got a promotion, so I'm his boss, essentially. And I'm not saying I'm his boss, but when it comes to the ranking system, I rank just a little above him.
Yeah. You're like, you know, Kamala.
What I can tell you about this guy is that he was the assistant manager before the pandemic started.
Ooh.
And I came back, and he was going to come back too, and he started to assume his position as assistant manager, but that position was no longer needed. And he refused to become a tech again, you know, because he was a tech just like me, but he didn't want to do it anymore, and sort of fucked us over. But he wanted to sit on the computer all day, so we just let him do that now. But he acts as this fucking shadow manager.
Yeah.
This fucking dude that thinks like he can still fucking swing around, but he goes
boogeyman over
basically
here.
he doesn't like the owner of the company will go to his wife and complain.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's your fucking boss who started this company you work for, and how dare you fucking like rat him out for everything, because what do you think's going to happen? He's going to get fired?
Yeah.
Like, what do you fucking...
He owns a fucking spot.
There's a couple people at work that are sort of like that, where they will rat on this guy, and I'm like, what do you expect's going to happen? They're going to reprimand him? He's going to get fired from his company?
That's
like,
the one
fuck
person you want to kiss their ass the most. It's like, as long as he likes me, who the fuck is gonna fire me? This nigga's on my side.
Some people are stupid. They just don't get it. But anyways, I get this thing saying, despite what you've heard, I just want to send out factual information. Oh, no. Later I text him. I go, what was up with that fucking email, dude? He goes, well, I just wanted to make sure everyone got factual information. I was like, factual information? You know where I got my fucking information. It was from the fucking man who runs our fucking company.
The man who's been making us wear our masks.
And yes. And I said, you hurt me today. I sort of didn't want to get into any like sort of craziness, so I said, man, you hurt me today.
Wow. You went that low, Los.
I said,
how dare you?
Because I knew that he's like a pussy, you know.
How dare you tell him?
Saying something like that may like make him feel bad. Yeah. So I told him, like, you hurt me. He goes, that was not my intention. I just wanted to make sure everyone got factual information. And I go, whatever your intention was, I'm sorry. ... Now, what I didn't finish saying was, I'm sorry I even tell you any fucking thing.
You son of a motherfucking bitch.
But I wanted to be like, I don't want to like leave evidence and talking shit or saying anything. So I just said, man, you hurt me today and I'm sorry.
Did you do a crying emoji?
No, but I did. Because I'm not sorry because I'm crying. I'm sorry that I talked to you about shit. Did
you use the phrase personal truth?
Yeah. Did you?
You should have peppered that in there to really get him.
You should have said, well, my truth. As long as you throw my truth in there, he can't refute it. Yeah. That's how you argue.
Either way. So he sends that email out, and then today another email comes out from the ups, right? The management team saying, oh, yeah, basically everything I fucking said. You can walk around without your mask when you're at your workstation. CDC guidelines, you know, following science. And the guy didn't make eye contact with me all fucking day. He took off early.
Follow the science,
he's a fucking, like... Where's I'm waiting for an apology because everything I told him, like I just got basically what it was is I got early information. I got insider trading information and I relayed it to you, hooking you guys up with some information. And you went behind your manager's backs to talk to the other bosses who you think like you more. They don't, by the way. They don't like you.
Nobody
okay?
likes you.
Nobody likes you at this point. And
no, the girl don't like you.
Thinking that he's got some sort of like he fucked up hard and like I'm just, you know, he's just another employee to me. He's not going to be a friend. I'm not going to like try to reach out and try to invite him to play poker anymore. Nope. Like I've done nothing but try to like be nice to him, and he holds, and I think what it is, he holds resentment that I now took the position of assistant manager. Now, mind you, there was an open call for manager, not assistant manager. There were only 2 people who applied. The 2 people who applied both got manager positions.
Oh, wow.
So I got the assistant manager spot, which wasn't even offered. It was just something that they gave me. And guess who didn't apply for that job? And it's holding resentment because somebody else holds the job that he had before the pandemic.
I'm sure he felt like I'm sure he felt like, oh, well, that was going to be given to me.
He holds this resentment like a little bitch. And I hope you're watching. Because I'm not, you know... I'd tell you this right to your face. You know I fucking would. But
you think that mustache wouldn't do that?
It's the fact that I gave you this information and you went around to try to like fact check me. Like you tried to fact check me. And then you like PolitiFact basically didn't prove me wrong. You basically put out disinformation saying
Yep.
that there was disinformation out there. You know, like the things that New York Times does to fucking Project Veritas. You yourself were doing something that you projected onto me.
And then what happened?
When you say, I was just trying to get the factual information, I'm like, not to say that I hold any power over you, but my word came from your boss. Like, and not only that, I'm also your boss in a way. I hate saying that 'cause I'm not your boss, but I am ranked above you. I'm assistant. I'm assistant to the manager. The thing is, man, the horse shit. And then here we are with the CDC fucking guidelines here. If you're fully vaccinated, you can resume activities you did prior to the pandemic. I'm only 1 week out from being fully vaccinated, but I thought about this too. I'm probably fully vaccinated, but it's not like I was 50% and then 2 weeks later I'm 100%.
Yeah.
It's a gradual thing, and I'm sure I'm at the 99th percentile of being. And not to mention,
Fully
two of my best buddies that do a podcast with me every Sunday both caught the fucking Rona,
Son of the bitches.
and I still didn't catch it. So I've got superpowers and all that.
Well,
shit.
just wait till they fucking start the 5G going, man. Then you're gonna have the most superpowers.
Yeah, well, let's see. Or grow a third arm. Who fucking knows? So this, you guys know you can walk around with your mask on. Of course, it's still subjected to, you're still subjected to your rules at work and at gas stations and whatever. Before we get into some questions I want to ask, can we play this video from the CDC director?
CDC.
No more than 6 weeks ago, talking about her impending doom, how her impending doom, how she feels, and yeah, we're just waiting to get that on there. I got some random guy fucking hitting me up right now. I don't think it's someone watching the show though. Get your shit together. Get it all up. Pick it up. Put it in a handbasket. You know. And then just get your shit and just get it all together.
Yeah.
CDC's most recent data show that the 7-day average of new cases is slightly less than 60,000 cases per day. This is a 10% increase compared to the prior 7-day period. Hospitalizations have also increased. The most recent 7-day average, about 4,800 admissions per day, is up from 4,600 admissions per day in the prior 7-day period. And deaths, which typically lag behind cases and hospitalizations, have now started to rise, increasing nearly 3% to a 7-day average of approximately 1,000 deaths per day. When I first started at CDC about 2 months ago, I made a promise to you. I would tell you the truth, even if it was not the news we wanted to hear. Now is one of those times when I have to share the truth, and I have to hope and trust you will listen. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to lose the script, and I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom. We have
Pause
so
real quick.
much to look forward to.
What the fuck is up lately with these like leaders, these women leaders? Like every time you hear them start talking and they get into it, they just sound like they're about to cry. Like
She does sound like she's about to cry.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard like a major industry like CEO fucking talking and then like doing this crying bit? This little this want for your emotion,
Tugging at your heartstrings.
tugging in a way.
Yeah.
And so she's absolutely not trying to do that now. But
And she's still reading. She said, "I'm gonna go off script
gonna
and
go off
speak."
script.
Bitch, I still see you looking at the fucking laptop in front of you.
You see her eyes moving left to right. I'm totally not reading.
She's like this. Are we going to stand for this?
She looks like me when I'm trying to do the intro. Go ahead and press play.
It'd be a lot more entertaining if she was the cat.
Yeah, exactly.
So much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now, I'm scared. I know what it's like as a physician to stand in that patient room, gowned, gloved, masked, shielded, and to be the last.
Hold up, pause.
person to touch
Shielded.
someone
She knows
else's
what it
loved
feels
one.
like to be. What was it? Can you go back a few seconds? She was like bonded and gassed and.
I know, I was gonna say mask,
And to
gas.
be the last person to touch someone else's loved one, because shielded, and to be the last person
A little
to
bit
touch
back more.
someone, stand in that patient room, gowned, gloved,
Bound.
masked,
Gown.
shielded.
Gown.
Oh, gown.
Gown,
That's just like,
gloved.
yeah, you're like tying up your
Gown, gloved, mask, shielded.
bound,
We've
gloved,
got,
mask.
We got Ricardo chiming in on the chat.
Uh-oh.
My heartstrings are attached to my crotch.
Hey.
And to be the
My
last
man.
person to touch someone else's loved one because
Oh.
their loved one couldn't be there. I know
Ricardo's
what it's
gonna be like, "There, I got
when
something
you're
you can
the
touch."
physician, when you're the healthcare provider, and you're worried that you don't have the resources to take care of the patients in front of you. I know that feeling of nausea when you read the crisis standards of care and you wonder whether there are going to be enough ventilators to go around.
But
and
the
who's gonna
ventilators
make
kill
that
people.
choice.
Like 90%.
And I know what it's like to pull up to your hospital every day and see the extra morgue sitting outside. I didn't know at the time when it would stop. We didn't have the science to tell us. We were just scared.
Stop real quick.
We have come such
What is
a
this
long
this
way.
thing with like this isn't the science tells us the science isn't a thing, it's
Yeah.
a process.
Yes.
And when people says I believe in science, it's like, well, so you believe in a process.
Mhm.
The scientific process. They've really turned and politicized what science is.
Yep.
I believe science, like, yes, we all believe in science.
What science?
But it's not to science,
Mm-hmm.
as Ben Shapiro would say, it's not to science that you guys are talking about. You guys are talking about a religion called science that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even have very much actual science processes in it.
Nope.
Anyways,
And it's an ever evolving thing. You know what I
it
mean?
always is evolving.
Yeah.
What is that thing you used to talk about with Sonny in Philadelphia? The scientists.
Oh
were
yeah,
wrong.
when he's like, "Bitch." Yeah, yeah. and yeah, I was gonna say, and you notice that bitch never cried once. Like, there's not a tear that came out of her eye, but she was. It's fucking like started like you're about to start a fucking bite. It's like, bitch, are you gonna cry or not? I don't see a tear. I don't see a tear.
She doesn't want to ruin her makeup.
3 historic scientific breakthrough vaccines, and we are rolling them out
Thank you,
so
Donald Trump.
very fast. So I'm speaking today not necessarily as your CDC director, and not only as your CDC director,
No.
but as a wife, as a mother,
Uh-oh.
as a daughter.
Hold on, press pause.
Oh,
What?
that's
Come on.
triggering.
I'm triggered.
That's gendered
How
language.
dare you say wife, mother?
That's
don't
how
know.
she identifies.
I'm offended.
She's not
Ask
identifying
you
you.
to just please hold on a little while longer.
Here's the good stuff.
I so badly want to be done. I know you all so badly want to be done. We are just
me get
almost
back to my
there,
script
but
here.
not quite yet. And so I'm asking you to just hold on a little longer, to get vaccinated when you can, so that all of those people that we all love will still be here when this pandemic ends.
What pandemic? We're
Oh.
we're ordering food to go and liquor to go to our homes. What pandemic?
Did I miss talked about her son going to fucking summer camp?
I think that may have been a different clip.
I think that was
but
different.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Anyways, it doesn't matter anyways, because no more than just a few weeks later, the CDC changed their guidelines. First, they did that first guideline where they said, "Yeah, okay, outside, everybody's outside. You're vaccinated. You don't have to wear a mask." Yeah, we know. We've known that. We told us so. And I just wanted to know, like, what new data, what new study came out in the last couple weeks, even the last day or two, that changed all of a sudden. And so I picked up the COVID data tracker. Now, there's not much here to look at. I just want to see from the day that she filmed that was March 30th. So it was a little over a month and a half ago. So if you can go scroll down to, so this is daily and total trends, reported deaths by state and territory. This will be in general, I think, if you just keep rolling down the death charts there. No, there was more of a solid chart that was giving it to us.
More of a chart.
It don't matter because we got to move on anyways to the local news here. But you can and what I wanted to show you was, yes, this trend. We are going down here, but we were already on a decline before March. We were already on the decline, and so they wrote it out a little bit, and then they gave us a little bit of leeway. They gave us a little bit of rope, and then finally yesterday they gave us most of the rope back, which I'm happy for. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining one bit about this. I've been looking forward to this. I'm walking everywhere. I'm not putting on a mask. Just letting you know. All right? Except for where I need to. I'm going to keep one on me just in case I don't want any of you Karens or Kyles to come after me, okay? But what was the new data that came out? There was nothing new. Why not? Why didn't we do this a week ago? Why did it happen to come out today? And it leads a lot of questions. Jen Psaki Zuckerberg was asked, seems a little odd, after the jobs came out and saying you guys did terrible on jobs this time around. Is this some sort of political thing? Did Joe Biden, Joe Obama have anything to do this for political stuff? Joe Psaki just said. Joe Psaki said no. Psaki.
Joan Psaki's?
But it reminded me of this just from March, and we're talking about less than 2 months ago when lots of governors, especially our governor here in Texas, lifted the mask mandate. Lifted the mask mandate, and Joe Obama was asked about it. And as I recall, he called it Neanderthal thinking.
Yep.
And can you go to that next link here? Neanderthal thinking.
Neanderthal.
Actually, that's the last link here. It's the one right above it. But yeah, get that one ready for the next one here because that is next. But Neanderthal thinking, and I just want to read what he was saying. This comes from CNN. Biden criticizes Texas and Mississippi for lifting restrictions. Neanderthal thinking. From March 3rd, 2021.
In that picture, he had just finished saying, come on, man.
He said,
look at that picture.
Tell you what.
Come on, man. Why gotta ask me? Why gotta be asking me those questions?
Dresden Biden sharply criticized states such as Texas.
I think it's a big mistake. Look, I hope everybody's realized by now these masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters. I carry a card, and I don't have it, I put it on my desk. As of
and Tate Reeves of Mississippi to relax restrictions. Mississippi's where Crossroads is, by the way. I don't know if you know
see you at the crossroads.
You won't be lonely.
Lonely.
The last thing, look.
Is the
last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it, it still matters. What data came out between here and now?
Mm-hmm. And that was only
what studies came out between here and now that doesn't make what he just said apply to the decision from the CDC? Because, we follow the people that we put in charge. We follow them. But I totally get it. We're waiting for the CDC. I get it. What study did they find that? And don't get me wrong, I'm all for this mask mandate being lifted, but why now? Why not a week ago? Why not on when other states did it? We didn't see a fucking rise in Texas. Nope. I had friends on my Facebook fucking posting this as if, it's the end of the world. Here comes the third wave.
Yep.
Nope. Yep. Did not fucking happen like that.
I saw so many of those posts, and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, quit fucking fear-mongering people.
It's funny how that just disappears when it doesn't happen. Like, everybody just kind of forgets that,
it's sort of,
it even happens.
It's a word that they like to use about Donald Trump.
Yep.
It's called gaslighting. Yep. And speaking of gaslighting, I've talked on this show how, after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, we started hiring people back on. Mm-hmm. But because of the benefits were so good, some people didn't want to come back. They didn't come back.
They did not.
And therefore did not get their jobs. But big fucking deal. I get unemployment. I get a little extra boost from the government. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, when you see that there's a job shortage, you sort of can correlate that that's because the job shortage is because there are people still rocking the unemployment, loving it, not wanting to go back. I mean, I told you I was making a lot of money a week. More than I was making at the time. Mm-hmm. And didn't have to do anything but sit at home and start. And that's when it got me into bonsaiing,
Taking care of these nice little fellas.
So I wanted to watch this video, Biden here, saying that there's no evidence that unemployment benefits are keeping folks at home. It's just not true. And I just want to listen to his explanation because he's got to have some evidence behind this. I was hoping he'd have some evidence.
Because of the science.
Go ahead, Obama. Oh, we got a little bit we got a tab that's screaming at us. So go ahead, Joe Biden.
There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law. I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Ooh. Well, we don't see much evidence of that.
Stop.
We
don't see much evidence of that. Well, you guys have the evidence of it because literally the IRS, it's coming from the government. You have paperwork. You have, you know who's getting paid what. What kind of cop-out is that? What gaslighting that is? Mm-hmm. Are you trying to tell me that when you pay people to stay at home, that they want to be at work, that they're not stoked to collect free money? Shut the front door, Joe Obama. Go ahead and press play.
A major factor. We don't see that. Look, it's easy to say the line has been, because of the generous unemployment benefits, that it's a major factor in labor shortages. Americans want to work. Americans want to work. As my dad used to say, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity, your place in the community, being able to look your kid in the eye and say everything's going to be okay.
That's not what. That was never the answer to the fucking question.
Yeah, this is the president of the United States.
And that's
he says dumber things than Donald Trump would say.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it's frustrating because that's what we were saying when the pandemic, midway through, was open up. Look at the science. The science is proving nothing's happening to the younger people, to the people of this age. Keep people home and let the people who want to work. That's what we were saying that that's what Americans want to do is work. We care about working. We don't want a paycheck. Everything we said, now he's spitting out saying, well, Americans want to work. And you can't really think. And that's the thing. It's now you're saying what we're saying.
I would love to get paid and stay at home. Are you fucking joking me? It works. The best part of my day is coming home from work.
Yeah, you play your guitar to your bonsais.
Goddamn right. Fuck.
Naked.
And you also said, Americans shouldn't have to choose between jobs and paychecks. What? What we need to do.
No, he said they're not supposed to be choosing between their lives and a paycheck.
No, it was either way. What we need to be doing is putting his slogans on T-shirts. Yeah. So if you can type up anything he says, that's great, like that.
Joe Toboggan.
And then actually, get his actual logo and make it look like it's his shirt, but it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that men and women, you know the thing." And it's like Joe Biden for president. Okay, I stole it from Gavin McInnes, but I think we can totally do that ourselves.
That'd be dope.
Why not? Come on. This is fucking America, baby.
Come on, man.
Capitalism.
We can do this shit.
And if we can get them out faster, then why the fuck not? All right, moving on. So let's go into some local news here. If you guys are watching us on Channel 10, give us a call because this might apply to you. Are you a homeowner? Do you live in an HOA, Homeowners Association, or horribly ordinary assholes, in other words, ornery, yeah. So there's this story right out of Avery Ranch here in Austin. It's
Avery Ranch.
Yeah, it's North Austin, no? I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it's a well-to-do area.
I was gonna say, yeah, those people are nice.
So this comes from CBS Austin. A veteran in Austin proudly displays his American flag. Quote,
veteran?
Yes, that's right. Quote, that flag represents my service, and that flag represents this is the greatest country in the world, unquote. Gary Perks said? Let's just call him Gary. He says he's proud of his American flag, his Vietnam-era service, and his family's sacrifice for this country. Quote, I was in the United States Navy from 1972 to 1975 in Charleston, South Carolina. 3 years? That doesn't seem like a very long service. My father served in World War II. Okay. No, I mean, thank you for your service. You probably could imagine his outrage when he got a letter saying that his flag violated the Avery Ranch Homeowners Association rules. Yeah, I'm pretty angry, he said. He says his American flag has never bothered anyone before. That flag has been there 17 years, he said. We moved in 2004. It has been attached to a tree for so long that the bark of the tree is growing around the bracket. His then neighbor got a violation letter, says her flag has been up since 2003. Oh, no. Then his neighbor got a violation letter, says her flag has been up since 2003. We're proud to fly it and we want everyone else to see it, this woman said. Upset about the whole thing, Jim Duffner put up his American flag to support his neighbors. That's not right, Duffner said. You should be able to fly the American flag any place you want to. So I put one in my tree. Then Jim got 2 violation letters saying take the flag down, Duffner said. I'm not taking it down. Frustrated, these Avery Ranch residents believe they have every right to fly their American flags in front of their homes no matter where it is. They point to the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act of 2005. Within reason, it states in part, a condominium association, cooperative association, or residential real estate management association may not adopt or enforce any policy or enter into any agreement that would restrict or prevent an association member from displaying the U.S. flag on residential property. The federal flag rules, and there is a state-level rules as well as in Chapter 202 in the Texas Property Code. Avery Ranch HOA attorney Clint Brown said. Brown says the residents just need to follow the rules. It wasn't, you have to remove the flag, he said. It was, hey, look, you're attaching a flag to a tree that's not typical. You've got to get approval. We're not saying you can't fly the American flag because that's not allowed. We just want you to file an application. Gary is wondering, like, why now? Well, quote, I think somebody's offended by that flag, he says. To be honest with you, I think the Avery Ranch HOA is caving to them. The HOA says the larger issue with the flags came up when the people were putting up political flags leading up to the election, which the HOA does regulate. Quote, we're not telling them to take the flag down, fuck faces. We're all just asking them to just follow the process. We're just trying to be fair to everyone, and that's really what we want to do is be reasonable and fair. But this dude, Gary, says it's not right. A lot of people started taking their flags down, which I understand, and I'm sorry to see that, Gary said. But I think they felt threatened. So on Tuesday, March 11th, the Avery Ranch board member responded to CBS Austin reports regarding the flag display in his community. You can read their responses below. We're not going to. So it had me wondering about HOA stuff. And I've, as a libertarian, the best way to avoid HOA anything is don't join an HOA. Mm-hmm. So there are perks, there are pros and cons to HOAs. Are you familiar with HOAs? So HOAs are homeowners associations.
I'm familiar with them, but I've not lived in them.
So basically, you have a chapter, or you have rules. Mm-hmm. You can't put this kind of tree up. You have to make sure
you can't have this many cars parked in the garage.
All these different types of rules. Shit. One of the rules happens to be you can't hang your flag on a tree. You can totally put up a fucking flagpole. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about when I was listening to the story earlier in the week, and I was thinking, how is he displaying this on his tree? Like, is it like hanging down from a branch? And I didn't quite understand how he was actually hanging. So it actually was hanging like they stapled, like you buy those from Home Depot, the ones you put a little pole that's cut at 45-degree angles, and you tack it onto your wall, and you can put your flag, and it stands at a 45-degree angle. Basically, he screwed one of those into his, looks like a fucking elm tree or something in the front yard there. And I go, yeah, well, it's not a permanent structure. And by the way, aren't you a fucking veteran? Like, I get that you can fly the flag any way you want, but you're like a veteran. Like, you should be held to like the highest standards of like having a flag. And his flag looks good. It's a 5x3 flag, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pretty big flag. Like, why not... your neighbors all taking down the flags. It's in the HOA that you're not supposed to do that. And his only argument is that, well, I've been doing this for 18 years. Okay. So you're now just getting away with, you got away with it for 18 years. So my mentality is, I'm sorry, you're going to have to take the flag down. But you totally can stick it to them by putting up the tallest, most intense fucking flagpole you've ever fucking seen. We're talking about like Bill Dotree putting up a fucking flagpole in his backyard. Like the giant-ass flag. Like, you're a veteran. You should have more respect for the flag than tacking it to a tree, you know? How do you pull it up for half-mast? I mean, do you care about the flag, or do you just like want to say that you do so that you can keep fighting to have your flag up there in the same spot? Like, my thoughts are, you join an HOA. Those are the rules you signed up for. I can't have sympathy for you on this issue. Now, there are some examples of this which I think are absolutely asinine, and there is this one, and I don't have any links for it, but there was this guy that had in an HOA, and he has a classic truck. He's got some Chevy, some old school fucking Chevy pickup truck, and his house is about to be foreclosed on because one of the rules of the HOAs, you can't have any dilapidated cars or anything.
Oh no!
But this car is not. It's in perfect running condition. It's just that the paint job is patinaed, and it's actually what the style is. It's the original paint job from that car from whatever era it was in. But it's never been painted.
Wow.
It's never been like touched up, and it's like there's a little bit rust, but the rust spots aren't like eating away. It's called patina. It's antique.
Yeah.
And that's what I go, okay, that's not what you're talking about here. This is not a flag on a fucking pole there. Yeah, there you go. Patina car finish. You see, that's basically what his car looked like.
Yeah.
But it was a perfect car, and so he takes care of it. He's an older dude that takes care of it, and you know they had to throw in the fact he's like, yeah, I'm a veteran, you know, so they threw in the veteran thing too on that story. There was another one where this guy
Wait, but what did they do to his car?
So they dismissed this. This happened a couple of years ago.
But were they trying to get him to get rid of his car or something?
Either get rid of it or pay the fines. So he took them to court, and they dismissed the charges.
Wow. Well, and I just want to say that to me, the reason this is a stupid story is, what kind of HOA would regulate flying the American flag?
Well, I don't think it was see, that's the problem.
No.
They think that they're trying to regulate the American flag.
That's what they're doing.
No, they're not.
What did they do?
I mean, I said it twice that the attorney said, we're not telling him that he can't fly a flag. He cannot fly it because according to the statutes, you can't attach something like that to it has to be a permanent structure. That's not a permanent structure. It's not.
A tree isn't a permanent structure?
It's not a permanent structure.
A tree.
Not like a flagpole made of metal, not wood.
Tree.
Yes.
That has its roots into the earth, that withstands hurricanes and things, is not a permanent.
I get what you're saying.
A tree that lives to hundreds of years is not a permanent structure.
It's not. You know why? You know why it's not? And it's simple. Because it's growing. Does that make sense to you? That
no.
Because it's growing, it's not a permanent structure. It can change. It's not permanent. It can change.
And that's how he allows a flag to go up.
So what he should do is kill the
growth of the tree.
He should probably kill the tree.
No. What I'm saying is, what they're doing is regulating people flying the American flag.
No, they're not.
No. Once you say you cannot fly it in these conditions, you are regulating.
Yes, but that's what you signed up for. When you join an HOA.
But what I'm saying is, to me, it's odd that an HOA is regulating how you can fly an American flag.
So, which is interesting because he did say he's been doing it for like 18 years. And evidently, what they're saying in the story is that this all started, this got the HOA's attention because people were putting up flags, political flags. And so this is what happened, at least in the way I think things went. Trump flag, Biden flag, Trump flag, Biden flag, right? This happened in November or so, right? Trump flag, Biden flag. And HOA was all like, somebody realized, oh, this is against HOA regulations to fly a flag. And they were all flying it this way, attaching it to the tree. And so the HOA sent out a letter to everyone, said, hey, no flags, everybody. Just sort of to let you know that's against the regulation. And this guy refused to take his flag down. And so there's a thing. Everybody had to take down their flag. It wasn't regulating Trump flag. It wasn't regulating Biden flags. It wasn't regulating U.S. flags. Because they could all fly those flags. Actually, they can't fly political flags. But the political flags triggered them to look at the whole neighborhood again.
And this is the thing. And this is why I'm saying this is weird. I agree with all that. Fuck any flag. But in America, how are you going to regulate the American flag?
Well, there was his neighbor that they let him keep his Black Lives Matter flag up.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I thought
this guy was gonna fucking go nutty.
I was gonna say I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I would not doubt that. You know, because I'm pretty sure he could argue this other bullshit. But
we got a message here from WPTX. Wouldn't the libertarian position be that technically his participation in an HOA is voluntary? Wouldn't the libertarian position be that technically his participation in HOA is voluntary? Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You join that HOA. I'm sorry, you're subjected to those rules. But the argument that my significant other was saying was like, well, he was getting away with it for 18 years.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think is that he was getting away with it for 18 years. I think the people for 18 years saying, "Oh, that's an American flag. Like we're not gonna regulate it."
Yeah, and nobody cared about it.
But now that everybody's like bitching about flags, they're saying, "Oh, this guy too." But what I'm saying is, in America, from everything that should not be regulated, the thing that should not be regulated is the flying of the American flag. You want to fly the American flag? By all means, you live in America. You should be able to fly the American flag.
I don't disagree with you, and in a lot of sense, especially because there are like state and like federal laws or regulations saying we can fly the flag any goddamn way we want. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true, but those rules are not really subjected to. Well, I think even the rule is that no rule can be made to overrule this rule, and HOAs, the bottom line, and I was going to tell you about this other story about a man who his mother
horny
died.
Old assholes. No, that's what HOAs are. Horny old assholes.
There was this man, part of an HOA, very strict HOA. And what happened is his mother died and he had to go to the funeral, and his grass got a little too tall. So they started fining him $500 a day till it became $27,000, $30,000 at one point. All because he couldn't mow his lawn because he had a family emergency. Now, what would you say about that? He signed up for this HOA that said he had to do that. Here's the part I wanted to bring up. His lawyer says, you know, they had everything in their power, and this is what an actual neighbor should do because they're prioritizing fines over anything else. They're prioritizing profit and money, and so what they could have done is simply hired a crew of people to mow that lawn, send him the bill. Instead, what they did is they chose to fine him $500 fucking dollars. Now that's a clear example of HOA taking advantage.
Exactly.
This flag thing, I don't think it's such a big deal to tell this guy that he should just go build a fucking flagpole. You got caught, and I think it's fine. I wonder if they have an issue with BLM and LGB flags in Avery Ranch. Yes, I think they did, which is, I think, this guy obviously sounds, and he was on Todd and Don, he called them, so he might be like a conservative already, but he's like, I think they're offended by the flag. I think anyone who says that they're offended by the flag is probably a right-winger that will say something like, well, I think that they're actually offended by seeing the American flag, and like sort of leaves out the fact that this whole thing was prompted because people were putting up their political flags and they're flying them. And so the HOA was like, oh yeah, well that's against the rules. Well, who else has got flags up? We got to enforce these rules because now we're enforcing it for one. We got to enforce it all.
Again, I would say yes, but you live in America.
Yeah,
like I would understand if like honestly, like if it was like, hey, you know, take down the Mexican flag or the Brazil flag or whatever. It's like you're not in that country anymore. You decided to integrate into the You came to America. You wanted to be American, therefore integrate into the American lifestyle. You can't do that when you're also doing, you know what I mean? You're showing some what's it called? What's the word I'm thinking of?
Resistance.
Resistance. You know, friction. You're showing some tension there that it's like, okay, are you? And especially the last political 4 years we had, the flag you flew was a big fuck you to somebody, right? If you did an American Trump flag, that was a fuck you to the BLMers, right? But if you had a BLM Antifa gay flag, that was a big fuck you to the Trumpers. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the Trumpers are seeing that LGBT flag and they're like, "Ooh, I hate those gays! Oh my god! Oh BLM, I hate those guys so much!" Arrgh.
But what I'm saying is, from all the things, all the things that should not be regulated in America, it should be the American flag.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you on that. Then again, He's in an HOA.
Yeah.
And so the best way to avoid HOA bullshit is to not join an HOA. Now, there's give and take. There's pros and cons.
That's some of the best advice you're ever going to get on this show.
When you join an HOA, you have the benefit of knowing that you're going to probably have good neighbors. And if you don't have good neighbors, you could fucking complain.
I'm going to share with you an HOA on the other side.
But then
I almost fought a guy.
Like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. And then you got the other side, unregulated streets where people own their own property. But who knows who's going to move in next door to you and trash their place, you know, and make your place depreciate in value.
Mm-hmm.
So there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
And I think HOAs, we need to hold them more accountable for the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, that guy with the grass. They fined him like $500 a day till it became $30,000 fucking dollars. Yep. Because he refused to do it. I think at some point what he did, he got home and he was able to mow it, but they kept every time he wasn't paying, you pay more. It's like fucking bank fees.
It's like taxes.
Like, are you fucking joking me? Yeah, why didn't you just like have someone mow it and then charge him later? Mm-hmm. Like this is unneighbor-like. Yeah. Like, and that is not the reason HOAs exist in the first place. And
damn, that's fucked up too, man.
I mean, I'm part of an HOA, like, but they're pretty lax in what you can do, you know?
Because I'm just thinking, like, this guy just lost his mom. The last thing he's thinking about is cutting his fucking grass. You know what I mean?
At least some sort of exception.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, he's a family, this and that. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, you like, you know, days fly by to where you don't care about home, this, that.
Right.
And then he gets there, and it's like, on top of all the shit he had to deal with, I got to pay how many $1,000 because my grass? Hey, Bob, Lucy, you couldn't fucking hire somebody to cut my grass, you sons of bitches. You pay those Mexicans down the street to cut your grass.
No,
you could have given them a 6-pack to cut mine.
I don't know what came out of this, but his house was about to get foreclosed on by the HOA. So you guys, thank you guys for joining us. You know, we still got a lot to talk about, and we're going to keep continuing to talk about that on the other side of this podcast. You know what that means? You may not know what that means if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube.
Go ahead and tell them those.
But on Channel 10, we're only going till 11 o'clock here, girls and boys. So check us out on Facebook and YouTube if you've got the chance, and we're going to continue on there, and that's where you'll find us. In the meantime, be cool to each other. Don't go punching dudes in the face because they call you the N-word. No. I mean, it's just a word.
It's just a word.
It's just a word.
Don't get offended.
But we'll get into that on the other side as well. We got more things to talk about on the other side. Let's see. I got a few seconds left I can talk about it. We're going to talk about speech is violence. We'll talk about another teacher being a bastard. Fauci impression. Ooh. Unnaturally changing the language. 2 cases, 2 races. Joe Biden maybe lose to Arizona. Either way, we'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned if you're watching on... And we got Bonsai coming up. So we'll see you guys in just a minute. And we're back. All right.
All right.
One more minute.
Oh.
It's 58:30.
58:30. We actually have one more minute to talk to you guys.
Well, I'll just tell you that story real quick. So what happened was we're going to go see my mom, my wife's mom. Uh-huh. We went into the exit gates instead of the entrance because the entrance didn't want to open. So this guy is recording my fucking car because he's mad that I went the wrong way. And I see this motherfucker with his phone out recording my car. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, I'm from the hood, bro. You don't do that. Uh-oh. So I get out of my car and I start, like, telling this guy what the fuck. And he's recording me. And I'm like, yo, delete that shit off your phone. And I'm threatening him and all this kind of shit, right? So then, he, we almost fight. My wife's going off because she's like, we got to go see them. We go in. It finds out next day her mom gets an email saying, hey, this happened. And she's like, he's a good Christian, man. How dare you? And then they ended up fucking moving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, how about that? Perfect timing, too. All right, like I said, we'll see you guys on the other side. For Brandon, for David, for Los, we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the other side, you guys.
But yeah, bro.
That's a good way to...
I was about to fight that motherfucker because I'm like, you don't just take your phone out and record somebody's car.
Well, I mean, you could. What are you, that fucking lady that called that cop a Mexican murderer?
Yeah. No.
What are you, jealous?
No, I'm like, why, like, this is information that, like, I don't know who you are. What if somebody hired you to come and fucking get information on me and you fucking are getting my license plate, giving that to somebody who doesn't like me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm from the hood, bro. You don't fucking do that shit.
I'm from the hood.
You don't do that.
All right, hey, welcome to the other side, you guys.
With your fucking John Wayne t-shirt.
I think we should get right started with a segment we like to do normally in the beginning, and I think it's probably best if we just save it for the other side. And since we're here... let's go ahead and do a little bit of bonsai willows. All right. Well. That's a remix right there. This week I've got a massive, thick trunk, bald cypress, you guys.
You got a thick, bald?
This is such a cool plant here. This is a tree. I should have had the stuff pulled up already. But the bald cypress is a Taxodium distichum. It's a classic tree of the southern swamps. You'll see this all over Louisiana in the bayou. And we'll have, since we can't see the nice foliage, I took this nice little vidya, which will just play softly in the background so you guys can get a better look at it. Maybe you can put it full screen so that people can actually see it. I don't know if this will, actually, if we frame it just right, that'd be sweet. Anyway, no, yeah, it's moving back and forth. Either way, in its native habitat, which is the swamps, it displays a particular habit of raising conical knees. Yeah, you got little trees knees, and looks like these are starting to happen here a bit. The function of these growths is something of a mystery, although some believe it is a way to help the roots get oxygen. Of course, this is one of those kind of trees that you can just let sit in water. You know how you don't want to overwater?
Yeah.
This is probably one that you can't overwater.
Because they just lift their knees up?
They just lift their knees up, and that's right, that's what they do. The surprise of many, the bald cypress does quite well when planted in the right soil in yards along trees and is a beautiful specimen tree, which is what this is, a specimen tree. It has been grown successfully in cities as far north as Milwaukee and on dry Texas hills.
Wow.
I got this. This was sent to me from Florida. I don't want to tell you how much I paid for it because it's the most I've paid for.
Oh, no.
And so I hope it doesn't die. But isn't that can you keep playing that there?
Is it more than you would pay for
First of all, look at how nice that grass looks there. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to mow that.
I was going to say, those clouds, man.
That's my backyard, by the way. Isn't that in a pretty little backyard there? Clouds, you get the nice horizon, but that trunk is thick.
It is.
I don't know if you can see right here, David, where it's got this line here.
I do
so
see that.
the guy who had this had this wired up, and that wire must have been on there a couple years because it was swelling over the wire in some point. So
yeah, over here too.
Yeah, you can
and
see
right
it was.
here.
Yeah, I had to cut a lot of it off all over the place. So yeah, that stuff won't go away. But I think eventually what I'm going to do is cut the trunk around this area and cut it there. And this thing, you cut it anywhere, it sprouts.
Really?
So, it'll do all sorts of great stuff.
How short can you?
It's in the same family as I said, redwoods. Its closest relative is called a dawn redwood, and it looks almost freaking identical to this. Now the only difference really is the foliage. The foliage pattern on bald cypresses are alternative, which means down the middle stem, each of the little foliage is coming off are alternating. They're not together, opposed to opposite where they're making V's all the way down. And as you can see, they're opposite. Yeah. And so that's how you know what a dawn redwood is, because they've got opposite leaves, and the bald cypress
that is so
has
weird.
alternate leaves. Now, not only that, the bald cypress can have wet feet, which means you can let it sit in water. I don't think the dawn redwood can do that.
But can it have cold feet?
You don't want. Well, actually, you could, because these are very hardy trees. These can live and can survive a freeze for the most part.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, yeah, they're alternating. None of them are really on the same pattern as the other.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's how you can tell the difference between those and John redwoods.
Wow.
My new favorite tree for sure. This is the fourth bald cypress I've had. All of them have been on the show before. Much smaller versions. However, they did not survive. None of them survived the freeze. They're supposed to be able to live outside, and we had that crazy snow in fucking February. Snow that you've never seen in Texas.
Thanks to HARP.
Yes, HARP. The what is it that the big radio satellite
the
thing?
weather modification.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks a lot, HARP. And look at that. That just looks great.
I know, it looks really nice.
Yeah, and I think at one point it was, it was probably buried that far down, and then little by little they comb away the roots, and then the stuff that's exposed hardens up. I don't know if I like it that much. It's not too. It's pretty radial, so I may keep it, but I may bring up the soil level just underneath them. Either way, there's a lot of work to be done on this. This is its first step to becoming a bonsai made by Los, and you may see this in the future for an update. Once we get a blue screen, it'll be great. I think I'm hearing a phone call come in, so let's go ahead and answer that call. Burp, burp, burp. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, can you put a flag on that bonsai? I mean, it sounds sturdy enough.
Well, I don't think it's a permanent enough structure, you see. It's continuously growing.
Yeah, but it's got roots, bro. It's got roots. It's in the earth.
It's in the earth.
It's not permanent because those can
rot. It's not going to make like a tree and leaf, bro.
Those can rot away. Metal doesn't rot.
Oh, but it rusts.
It does.
How are you?
I mean, it's not rusting. I mean, it's aluminum doesn't rust, or stainless. I mean, there are other metals out there.
Aluminium.
You're right. Aluminium, glaciers,
aluminium,
vitamins. Yes, Bear Grylls was on our show. Yes, we got it. Vitamins. Anyways, what's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
We're doing great, man.
We're staying alive.
I'm to understand you've got a live show coming.
We do. It's gonna be at the Fairmont Hotel.
If you guys don't know who's on, if you guys don't know who we're talking to, this is Rich from Who's on Call.
Who is on call?
Rick. God damn it, Rick.
Rick. Yeah.
He's gonna be rich.
Just when I think I fucking have it, I fuck it up again.
He's gonna be rich. He ain't rich right now.
Rich is always gonna be rich. I'm gonna be a broke ass Mexican.
Well,
it's all good though, man.
Rich.
Rick.
I'm still fucking doing it. Rick.
Think Dick.
Yeah,
Rick.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, my man. You know who called me and said that they would love to be on your show for that live show?
Who's that? Don't tell me it's Jeff.
I think Jeff the Texan wants to come on live and try to meet you guys.
Bro, Jeff has been fanboying.
So you may have you may expect to see that guy just show up and harass you guys. So,
bro, that guy is a good time. I feel like we should share a Schlitz one of these days. And he's got some.
I think he's more of a hams man.
Ah.
Oh, okay, all right.
But hey,
what
do you think about that flag story we talked about?
Dude, I don't like HOAs. I'm in a neighborhood that has HOAs, and you can opt in or you can opt out. The house that we bought originally was grandfathered out, so we had the option of not joining. And I'd rather not, man, because they're sticklers. Like the best thing about the HOA where I live now would be for the pool, because there's a community pool. So if you pay the HOA dude like $300 a month, you get to use the pool. But that's it.
Well, that's the only benefit.
That's the only benefit that I saw.
When I used to be a kid, I would fill up trash cans and get inside. That was my pool. I saved my parents $300 a month by doing that. Damn.
What's the opposite of virtue signaling? What's the opposite of virtue signaling? Because you just did it.
Reality.
Reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, reality signaling.
I've never heard of that where you can opt out of a HOA. I have no idea how that would even work. And why would anybody actually want to be part of it if that's the case?
Yeah.
Who wants to give a committee $300 extra out of their fucking paycheck a month for rules and a pool?
Yeah, dude. There's regulations that are ridiculous.
Make no fucking sense.
None.
Nah, dude. I'm totally against HOAs. That's where I stand on that. The whole flag thing. I mean, yeah, wave your flag, dude. I wanted to put up a flag in my house, but I didn't want to like piss anybody off, so I thought I'd put a Whataburger flag up because I think that's pretty.
That's pretty Texas.
You know, across the border. Yeah, it's pretty Texas,
you know what?
I
can't hate that.
No.
What the fuck? That's more brilliant than having an American flag.
Well,
What's more American than Whataburger?
Nothing at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could you and your wife design us a Whataburger U.S. flag? Like it's like it's a regular U.S. flag, but its colors are.
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah, the stars would just be the W's.
Yeah. It'd be the star in the middle and the W's coming out.
Sorry, folks. I gotta good job. My wife is
actually. Hey, we gotta go. Hey, we gotta go. We gotta let you go.
Yeah, we gotta let you go. we got a show we're doing.
Guys.
Later, Rick.
Yeah.
Later, Rick. Rick.
Hey, later, Carlos.
Hey, man, I can tell you what.
Yes,
your
sir.
Jackson's gonna come and see you real soon.
All right, fellas. Have a great night.
Later, man.
Adios. Tell AOC I said what's up. I called their show as Jeff the Texan the other day, and
I wish I could ask him about fucking what's his face?
What the fuck? Fucking who?
Bill, man.
Bill?
Fucking no, what's his name? Microsoft dude.
Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah. Because like you hear about him and his fucking divorce with his wife, and she did it in 2019 when she found out about Epstein. That's when she filed for the divorce. When she started hearing about him and Epstein.
I don't get. Who gives a fuck about Melinda and Bill Gates?
And now Ellen is leaving her show.
Who gives a shit?
Think about it, bro. Who did Obama give medals to? Ellen, Oprah, Bill Gates. All those people are fucking going
Bill
down,
Gates
bro.
is just getting divorced. No big fucking deal.
Oh, just wait till I can't say much.
Ellen just stopped doing her show. Disgracefully, probably. Hey, let's get to number 5 over here. I want to show you this awesome impression.
Tío Tomás?
No, Tío Tomás. But if you close your eyes, you won't even know that this guy is not fucking Anthony.
I ain't gonna look.
Hey, good old Tony Fauci. Hey, Tony Fauci, it's a very difficult situation.
Okay, I'm not gonna look.
Check this out. He absolutely doesn't look like it, so I don't know why he got so close. He could have done one of those like Snapchat filters, but go ahead.
Even if you live alone, I would wear a mask in the house, especially in the shower, because frankly, droplets can make the way through the drain and come up through somebody else's toilet, infecting them with COVID through the anus. Ballpark, in 2 to 5 to 20 years, we can start thinking about considering the idea of pondering the thought of conceptualizing the possibility of maybe, perhaps reopening, but probably not. I would avoid having any fun whatsoever in the near to far future.
So good.
Yeah, this dude killed it.
Even if you live alone, you gotta wear a mask. Great impression.
Is there more?
I don't know. Can you scroll down and see if he's got another one? Oh, he's got another one.
Sexual fun this weekend, even if it's only finger stuff. Throw a glove on it. 2 masks, 4 condoms, and after you're done, just do a light grazing on your genitals with a Clorox wipe. It'll sting a bit, but better to be safe. Have fun.
Can you pause? Like,
just a healthy reminder.
When you can see the reflection of what he's watching, is he watching Alex Jones?
If you plan on having any sexual
that's a reflection of himself on the
fun this weekend, even if it's only finger stuff.
That's a
throw a glove on it.
Oh yeah, that's
2 masks, 4 condoms, and after you're done, just do a light grazing on your genitals with a Clorox wipe. It'll sting a bit, but better to be safe. Have fun.
It's almost like a Woody Allen impression.
You gotta definitely get the New York going.
Yeah.
And you gotta understand. Here it goes again with the theater.
Here goes. I'm Anthony Fauci.
Who is that? What's this guy's name? Tyler Fisher.
I can't throw a football.
Great guy.
I can't throw a baseball in a baseball field, but I can catch Corona.
Cameo. Yeah.
He'll make you want a cameo. But
how much? Check how much. Maybe we can fucking pay him to do one for the emergency exit.
That'd be good.
$50? I'm down. I'm fucking down for that.
$50? What? Just for him to say something?
Be like, it's Anthony Fauci here to talk to you about the emergency exits.
Oh, look, it only costs us 4 interest-free payments of $13, you guys.
Oh, that's we can do that.
Oh, he does Bill Burr. 50 more. Can we see a couple of the ones he's done already? Those videos up there? Are you scrolling the wrong way? There you go. Let's see what those are. You must pay $50.
Hey, what's up, guys? Comedian Tyler Fisher here. Hey, I do about 50 impressions, so I'd love to give a shout out to your friend or a happy birthday,
Or I could scold a friend for not wearing a mask in the park as Dr. Fauci. Or I could, frankly, even do your great president. I could say that you're doing tremendous and to keep up the good work.
Or what about a Bill Burr, right, on a Monday? Tell me what you want. I'll do it. Let's have some fun, and thank you.
Dude, Bill Burr. Dude.
Look who it is, Steve. Come on. It's so good to meet you, man. You are my pal. I told you are my amigo. You're blowing my mind right now.
Oh, that's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Come here, dude. I heard you're looking for a new job.
All right, stop. The voices are good, but you don't look like them. You're not Kyle Dunnigan. Kyle Dunnigan's actually got like a bunch of writers, I guess.
Oh,
right?
really?
Evidently, he's got writers, or at least a writer that writes all that stuff for him. Fauci is not that morbid. What does that say? It's not that morbid about.
But the impression.
Thank you, Jonathan Curtis, for making sure that we knew that.
Dyke.
Anyways, so that was
Megyn Kelly.
That was Fauci. So let's go into this Duncan
Jim
employee.
Jordan.
Freedom does not require the president's permission.
Thank you,
Goddamn rat.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
For telling me what I already fucking knew, Jim Jordan. Go do your fucking job.
Is he not?
I don't know. We're still wearing masks, aren't we?
I'm not.
Me neither.
You should go get a vaccine. And by the way, you should go get a vaccine if you're listening to this voice. Or, don't. Either way, you get one.
Maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, you can possibly think about maybe getting the vaccine.
You can think about possibly thinking about the inception
of an idea. Of maybe the possibility. Why am I going into fucking Bill Cosby?
All right.
The Jello pudding.
All right. So this comes from KView. Police. Dunkin' Donuts customer who used racial slur dies after the employee punched him in the face. Officers say that the hit knocked the 77-year-old man out and caused him to fall and hit his head. Tampa, Florida. Florida man, baby.
Florida man.
A customer at a Tampa Dunkin' Donuts died after... I just fucking read that. Tampa Police Department says on May 5th, a 77-year-old man in the drive-thru of a Dunkin' Donuts became upset. Quote, upset due to the lack of service he was receiving. Employees at the location asked the man to leave and did not serve him, according to a press release. But officers say instead of driving away, the elderly man parked his car and walked in the store and began arguing with the employee called Corey Pujols. That's right, you heard me right. Just like the Major League ballpark player, except, a much smaller poop butthole. According to the police department, the 77-year-old man called Pujols a racial slur, which Pujols challenged the man to repeat. Officers say when the customer repeated the slur, Pujols punched him in the face. I haven't seen more Pujols in a sentence than David's last little gay porno. The hit nearly knocked the other. He's like, dude, I'm Christian man.
First of all,
he's a Christian man. He would never. Why are you filming him?
Look, first of all,
why are you filming him?
First of all, I told you we needed money to pay the rent because of the freeze. Okay.
Only fans.
Wait, hold on. So the old man punched the young man?
No. Let me keep reading here. What happened is that the 77-year-old man, white man, I don't think they've said white yet, but they will, called Pujols a racial slur.
So, but why did it say the 70? Oh.
Called him a racial slur. And the guy, Pujols said, I just say that to me one more time. One more time.
Well, what racial slur did he call him?
We'll get into that in a second here. He knocked the elderly man out, caused him to fall and hit his head. Tampa fire rescue responded, and the customer was taken to the hospital where he later died 2 days later. Pujols has been charged with aggravated manslaughter of an elderly adult. Tampa police say the case remains under investigation. This didn't get too much into it, but could you look up Corey Pujols in
Well, your help is needed
in
tonight
Twitter,
in identifying a sexual assault suspect.
See, the thing is, nobody knows what he said.
This man on a bicycle approached and assaulted a victim in a vehicle this morning on North I-35. Now, that victim was able to escape.
Nobody heard it, but
listen, maybe he
They say
did.
the suspect ran away.
Since when
He's described as a Hispanic male,
did
anywhere
speech
from
become
5'9" to
violent
6 feet tall. He was riding
that
a
he can say
blue
whatever
bike
he
with
wants
red
to your
paint on
face,
it,
and
like
as soon as you
see
punch him,
here.
you're going to go to
If
jail
you
for
know
life. You
anything about
killed
this case,
somebody.
please
You
call
killed
police.
somebody over a word that you probably say to your fucking friends.
Yep.
Look at this. Okay, so this is what I wanted to read too, because I'm glad you found this Young Daddy stuff here. Because Young Daddy, who's a blue checkmark, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. Some Black Lives Matter asshole. Black Minds Matter newsletter. He's got a podcast. We should check him out. Not. A 77-year-old white customer at Dunkin' Donuts was upset about something, and he called a black 27-year-old employee the N-word. The brother told him to say it again. The old man did. The brother knocked him out. The old man fell, lost consciousness, and died. He fucked around and found out.
Wow. If that ain't racist, man, what is, dude?
The brother told him to say it again. I'm sorry, you asked him to fucking say it again. You actually incited the violence that was, if anything, you incited the violence that was inflicted on you.
How disturbing is it, like, just, you know, to even, like, let us, like, this is reality right now. Like, this guy, Young Daddy.
Keep scrolling down, too. I think there's more from this Young Daddy guy.
He's saying it's okay that this old man got killed.
That's exactly what
he's saying. What he's saying is it's okay that this old man got killed because he called this black man the N-word.
You'll even see further. If we can find more from this guy, he actually goes as far as says that young man was he did that in self-defense.
No, man.
Because hate speech is violence.
I hope the employee doesn't go to jail. What?
Oh yeah, let's read some of this. I hope the employee doesn't go to jail. He's been charged with manslaughter and could face 30 years. Yeah. Of course. That's fucked how the same state that couldn't somehow prosecute George Zimmerman will put this young black man in jail for most of his life for defending himself against racial hate.
So how do people not get this shit? This is how stupid our generation has gotten, thinking just because you assume somebody is right, it makes them right.
Let's see. Old man fucking deserved it after he fucked around and found out. Yeah, that deserves it, huh? So I guess now, I guess the black man gets to go to prison. Your right to, okay, it's not like Y-O-U-R-E. Yeah. Your right to anger stops at the other person's nose. Plus he's 77. What's the point of punching him? You can't control what other people say, but you can control your reaction to it. Yeah.
100%, man.
Consider it payback for all the other times he did something fucked up and nobody punched him in the face. You can't prove any of that.
Yeah.
But who really loses here?
But at the end of the day, is what should we be taught? That violence isn't the answer.
I'm not here to declare a winner, but the other guy died. One rash act, 2 lives destroyed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's when is violence ever justified? It's not justified now.
What's the rash act? The old man calling him the N-word, or the old man doubling down on it? He didn't double down on it. You asked him for it. Throwing a heavy hand. Talk is cheap. Manslaughter is manslaughter. Let's see. Maybe he should have ducked. Don't cost nothing to be a decent human. Being racist cost him his life. Okay. Throwing that punch is costing the donut man his life too. That's right. Mm-hmm. Is there any way folks can support the employee? Well, we got to go see if there's a fucking
GoFundMe, maybe.
GoFundMe. Yeah, send him ramen noodles, and when he gets 40 years old in the Denver second-degree murder. He found out 40 euros in the big house. Yeah, imagine ruining your entire life over 2 syllables. This guy's as dumb as they come.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he says as dumb as the N-word he is. That'd be funny. I don't even believe the N-word story. They will always lie to get away with scot-free. I mean, why else would the guy punch him in the face? I mean, yeah, I guess you don't want some old white guy getting in your face, right?
And like, again, we don't know what it was. and maybe he said something, and the black guy was like, "What you say?" And he repeated the word he said.
You heard me,
yeah. So like, let's say he said, what I'm thinking is, what if he was like, "Thank you" or something? Like, what if he just said a regular word, and the black guy he was like, "What you say?" And he just goes, "Thank you" or whatever. You know what? Maybe he didn't say the N word. He said another word, and the black guy, thinking this guy's racist, he said the N word. Punches him.
Motherfucker. Nice to see you approve of physical violence as a response to racism. Oh, that's an MD here. I don't know if he's a doctor or not. More people should. Wow. More people should murder people for saying bad words. You're a monster. Literally doesn't matter. Using lethal violence, whether it be a single punch or a whole beating, because of a single word is just not the solution. It is against a 77-year-old old person, clown emoji. What the older man did was wrong. What the young man did was wrong too. What an effing mess. Rachel Maria, hashtag wear a mask.
It's called self-defense.
It's called self-defense. Justin is tired. He's got more followers than us. Jesus Christ.
Justin, you look like you don't get tired because you're fat and you don't do anything.
Yeah, it's true. I guess I would probably have more followers if I was able to sit in front of my computer goddamn day jacking off. It's a dumb concept. People are tired of going high. Oh, because it's a dumb concept. Well, why did he just... Yeah, we're so tired of taking the high road that we just want to take that low road.
And where does it get you? Fucking in prison.
Dementia doesn't solve racism or doesn't cause racism. Was a 77-year-old man early or in middle stage of dementia or just hateful racist? All right, that's enough. That's enough of this. You guys get the point here, man. Do you guys think that...
Bam, you know what I should... You know what we should do? We should make a GoFundMe for us and say it's for him, and then when they donate money, we get it. Who the fuck's
this WPTX guy? I like him. I like you, WPTX. Give us a call.
It stands for Waraputo,
Waraputo, Texas.
Instead of Whataburger, Texas, Waraputo.
Let's go to number 4. So this goes in my continuing series of ATAB. You know, all teachers are bastards. And I don't think all teachers are bastards. But the worst ones, absolute. I'm actually taking a cue from the people that would say ACAB. All cops are bastards. Because evidently a small percentage, a very small percentage ruins the whole bunch. This is no exception when it comes to teachers. If we're going to play by your logic, we'll play by your rules here. We'll play by your rules, we'll play by our logic. But here is a Twitter. This is not from the original poster because you cannot find this anywhere else. Because as soon as somebody calls you out for racism, they delete it as if it didn't happen. That's called gaslighting. This is why we don't need to be banning people, because we need to see this stuff so we know what our enemy looks like. And this is our enemy. Teachers who teach this critical race bullshit. Now, I don't think this has anything to do with critical race, but essentially this school teacher thought it'd be wise to make all her white students walk in pairs very slowly, act as if their feet and their hands are shackled up because we're learning about slavery in school. The teacher posted this video along with the caption, quote, "Today, we experience life as a slave in the Middle Passage journey from West Africa to America. Fairfield Primary School in the UK. Look at this video and tell me, what if the races were reversed?" There's no talking or anything in it. You just see a group of kids walking, double file, walking in pairs, and walking in a shuffle as if their feet are shackled. Most of them are smiling. They have no idea why they're doing this. Because if you want to teach these kids about slavery, where's the fucking whip? You need to be whipping those fucking kids. That'll teach them about slavery.
Hang a couple of them. Come on.
Lynch a couple of those fucking kids already.
I just hear Brandon's face like, oh,
you know, you guys think this is you know what? I'm all for teaching kids about fucking slavery.
But you're taking it too easy.
This is too easy.
You're taking it too easy on those kids.
Well, let's talk about the virtue signaling that this is right here. Why would you, as a teacher, even want to like document this? Like, aside from trying to just teach them, hey, put yourself in this situation. to go above and beyond to record it and post it is literally saying, "Look at how good I am.
Look at what I'm teaching my
signaling,
kids.
Yes,
look at how great of a teacher I am."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then everybody's like, "Bitch, that's racist." Delete my account. Delete my face.
Dude, it's got over 250,000 views.
Jeez, dude, that's crazy.
Unbelievable. If that's not the most racist thing you've seen, you know what? Why?
And Lowe's has called me a spick before.
Yeah.
And that's more racist.
You should hear what he refers to you as when you're not here.
I know. Or off camera.
The worst part about this is that they're using racism by teaching racism.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only does it mean prejudice for somebody's skin color, but it also comes from the top. It's a systemic thing. What's more systemic than this happening at a school where you're teaching these kids? Let's see here. We've got WPX talking about it's when Extension hung a white kid in his music video. It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. What if the races were reversed? That's how you know if something's racist or not. Just use that.
Yeah.
Like, talk to yourself. Okay, what if there were black kids I was doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, would that be racist? Yes, it would. Why isn't it racist when you do it to white kids? You're using racism against racism. Did they say that too? No whips, no heavy chains. Oh God! All right.
Well, why would somebody just put pictures of their spouse?
I don't know here, but this is racism.
That's crazy.
In
man.
2021, they keep saying all this systemic racism and everything. I'd like to see some evidence of any of this type of racism. Every time I play these sort of videos, that's the racism that we're actually seeing today. That's the actual racism that's happening in the world today. Are things like this being taught by your teachers? They're teaching your children these things. Not all of them are doing that, but most of them are doing that. And they're wanting to teach the 1619 Project that's been widely debunked by historians. They want to teach critical race theory. Critical theory comes from the Frankfurt School. This is where political correctness comes from. This all is socialism, bullshit, cock-sucking nonsense.
Well, and it's also it's racist because people may be asking, why is this racist? Well, because you are demeaning a race. You like with critical race theory, so much of it is look at how evil white people are. This is why they deserve us being mean to them, because they've been mean to us.
And why show these kids that? Why do that to them? What about the black students in school? Did they experience that so they don't have to do it? Like, why don't I wouldn't think it would be as racist if they had everybody in school doing it. But it's all white kids, and so you go, why were there any black kids in the school?
Yeah, like the black kids who are there that are 7 years old, they don't just because they're black, and even think about that. That's racist to assume because they're a black child, they know about racism. Why? Well, because you're black, you should know about racism, right? How racist is that? You're a 7-year-old black kid. You know more about racism than that 7-year-old white kid. Why? Well, because you're black and your parents are black, so you know more about racism.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. We got a couple more things to get into, and then we're out of here. Let's go to number 6 here, and this is something from NPR. Biden changing some words here. Immigration agencies ordered not to use the term illegal alien under new Biden policy. So Biden over here signed an executive order saying, hey, we're just going to stop saying, the thing. The Biden administration is ordering U.S. immigration enforcement agencies to change how they talk about immigrants. The terms illegal alien and assimilation are out, replaced by undocumented citizen and integration. The new guidance is laid out in a pair of detailed memos sent on Monday by the heads of U.S. immigration and customs enforcement and customs and border protection. Part of a broader effect by the Biden administration to roll back the previous administration's hardline policies and build what they call a more humane immigration system.
I see that.
Quote, we'll set a tone and example for our country and oh no, that's not
tone.
Biden.
You're talking to me with the wrong tone.
It's the wrong tone. Troy Miller, at the top official of Customs and Border Protection, said in his memo, we enforce our nation's law while also maintaining the dignity of every individual with whom we interact. yes, I'm sure that the people that don't speak English are offended by the words that they don't understand just yet.
Yeah.
We enforce the nation's law by also maintaining dignity, blah, blah, blah. The words that we use matter, and we will serve to further confer that dignity in those in our custody. Yes, they totally know the difference between assimilation and integration. They totally know the difference between that. Speaking of which, can you go to the next links? Because I had this question. I wanted to know what the actual definitions, and if you can pull up both of them and have them ready here soon.
Of a Niger was?
Of what integrate means. You know, I actually more want to know what the synonyms are. If you wanted to grab a thesaurus and go, okay, well, what's another word for that? You know, well, basically, if we go down to synonyms, we can totally see that synonyms for integrate, absorb, co-opt, embody, incorporate,
yes,
assimilate.
Huh.
So assimilation is actually the original word. We want people that come to America to assimilate.
Yes.
We want them to incorporate. We want them to embody America. We want them to absorb America.
Yep.
But somehow assimilate is just a little bit too harsh for those people that don't know how to speak English yet. So we had to change it to integrate. Well, I wanted to know what actually assimilate meant. You know, take into mind and thoroughly understand. On the other side of that, to incorporate into a larger unit, to form, coordinate, or blend into a functioning or a unified whole. That's integrate. To absorb into the cultural tradition of population of group. Assimilate. That's actually what we want them to do. We want them to absorb into the cultural tradition.
And it's funny because that's the example, right? The belief that tolerant hosts would be able to assimilate immigrants of whatever creed or color.
That's right.
Right.
But somehow, and again, if we look at the synonyms, you will see that integrate is in there. This is a very weird situation that we have where words that mean the same thing, and this is not new. I mean, the word moron was a derogatory term for people that are retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can't say retarded anymore. Mentally ill, or mentally retarded.
Well, it's like people of color,
or mentally challenged.
It's like people of color. It's like saying you black person, you brown person. You're just changing the term, people of color.
Why isn't white people ever changed? Yeah. Why is it always just white people? Why is it that they get to change African American or just black?
Why are not white people included in the people of color?
No one says European American.
No.
Yeah. What the fuck's going on
That's so weird.
This is like virtue signaling in its highest form. Like, this is systemic racism here. It's not. I wouldn't say racism, but this is systemic changing of words. This comes from the system for things that, and it's a systemic virtue signaling. That's what I wanted to say.
Cancel Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, they seem to just like keep assimilating words from.
Bro, I bet you Merriam-Webster were racist. I bet you they have some association with the fucking KKK and all this other bullshit.
I don't remember which one, if it was either Merriam or Webster, but one of them was like a sociopath serial killer.
I'm telling you.
And wrote most of the definitions, at least in the first copy, from prison.
What?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
I don't remember which one it was.
This is a motherfucker we're getting our fuck. Oh, yeah, we're going to switch up our shit. Come on, man. You a motherfucking leftist as anybody else, man.
Why did he pick integrate?
He probably masturbated with the left hand. That's how much of a leftist he was.
Why didn't he pick like embody or intermingle? That's way better. We just want you guys to come in and intermingle.
Intermingle.
Oh, intermingle. Joe Biden.
Just unify.
Hey, come on.
Become one.
Come on, man. Anyways, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think that's just lame again. It's just like, what are we doing here, man? Like, man, are we trying to... This is all virtue signaling bullshit. Are we like trying to actually help them? Do we actually care that they don't know these words and we want to change it because actually the white folk on your side are offended by that word? Because trust me, they have no idea the difference between assimilate and fucking intermingle.
But the thing is... Integration is everywhere. Integration is everywhere in nature and in life, right? Like, you know, people who are weed smokers, what do you think they do with different strains, right? They integrate them into each other to make a new strain, right? People who are, right, the left, the left who is all about like different genders and different stuff and different colors. It's like, what do you think happens when a mixed race of people get together and right, like you have two different ethnicities get together and they integrate and they make a child who's a mixed baby, right? Like integration isn't a bad thing. Integration is a good thing, but they're giving it a evil connotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they don't need to do that.
No,
we don't need to be changing words unnaturally like that. I mean, the word, like, you know how they wanted to do that with, we changed the word to undocumented citizen. We're not going to say illegal alien anymore because people were saying that and they go, don't say that. They're going to get offended. You're like, well, but that's what it is in law. That's what it is. Yeah. And so he's like, well, I'm going to change that because, you know, I got nothing else I'm doing. And, you know, no one wrote anything on the teleprompter for me to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign this here. I mean, when was the last time you saw Joe Biden speak without a teleprompter? It is uncanny. It's it's unbelievable that we.
When was the last time you heard Joe Biden speak?
Well, I saw him speak yesterday when he talked about vaxxed or masked.
Was that the real Joe Biden?
Can you look that up? Joe Biden vaxxed or masked?
But was that the real Joe Biden or is that a decoy?
I don't know. It may have been his iRobot.
Oh no, I spilled. Bro, you like my Bar Marley shirt, bro? Fucking
Bob, we got somebody chiming in saying they gave us a like on YouTube and for us to take a shot. And that's coming from Ian.
All right, Ian. I'm going to finish the rest of this right here. Cheers to Ian.
Ian.
My man. That's right.
Oh, that was more than a shot.
All right, let's get into this last one and we're done.
That's for you, Ian.
All right. So I heard about this, and you guys may have heard about it. This is not new news, but there was this carjacking that happened in Washington. An Uber's Eat driver, deliver driver, whatever they call them. He was being carjacked by a couple of ne'er-do-wells, couple of underage ladies.
Ne'er-do-wells? Like shaving the company?
No, like never do wells. Like Nair, it's NE''ER.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically never.
Yeah, never.
Never do wells. Ne'er do wells.
I think he was big in like the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
It's an old thing.
So basically, what happened is that they used a taser to try to steal this driver's car. The driver fought back, and the girls drove off with the car while he was on it. They soon and promptly crashed the car. The man went flying. He died on the scene, and the girls tried fleeing, but not before searching all over the place for their fucking cell phones, which they never found. They got in trouble. They're good. They're out of there. So what happens is these teenagers pled guilty. One of the teenagers accused in the Washington, D.C. death of an Uber's Eats driver has pleaded guilty to the man's murder weeks after the video of an attempted carjacking that led to his death and shocked the nation. Fox News has confirmed. The 15-year-old girl was one of the two teenagers charged in connection with the March 23rd attack that led to a crash near Nationals Park where Mohammed Anwar, 66, was killed, according to officials. The other teenager allegedly involved was only 13. The 15-year-old pleaded guilty to felony murder charge. Washington, D.C. Superior Court's spokeswoman Claire Huber told Fox News. According to the WTOP, the other charges against her were dropped. Huber told Fox News that because the girl is being charged as a juvenile, the harshest penalty she can receive is a sentence to be remanded to the Washington, D.C. Department of Rehabilitation Services until she turns 18. Because the girl is being charged as a juvenile, a 15-year-old girl who carjacked someone and killed them, charged as a minor. Let's put a pin in that. Let's go to this next one.
Dude, that's like...
I do have a question, though. March 23rd was a Tuesday. Why the fuck weren't they in school?
Yeah, it's a good question, Joe Biden. Good question.
And I was going to say, man, this is almost like fucking Grand Theft Auto, dude. Like, I feel like these kids nowadays growing up in the world that we're living in feel like there's no reprimand for their actions. You know what I mean? Like, there's no consequences. Like, they could just go and do whatever they want for TikTok and Instagram and all this other shit. And as long, you know what I mean? Like, they're just doing it for the views and for all this stupid shit. And they don't really take into account, like, yo, we just fucking killed somebody. We just ended somebody's life.
I hope they remember that for the rest of their life. I mean, it's probably really hard to forget that. A GoFundMe page was started for Anwar's family and raised more than $1 million before it stopped accepting donations. The page describes him as a hardworking Pakistani immigrant who came to the United States to create a better life for him and his family. He was simply at work providing for his family when his life was tragically taken in an appalling act of violence. Anwar was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and a friend who always provided a smile when you needed one. He leaves behind a family near and far who cherish, love, and miss him dearly.
That's fucked up.
Hey, something just occurred to me just in reading this article. Who is it from? It's from Fox?
Yeah.
Was there a mention, aside from that he was a Pakistani immigrant, is there any other mention of race?
Nah.
No,
it didn't say the girls what race they were.
I mean, by now we're so far removed, we all know. But I'm just saying, like, the level of journalism, like it like that's not really relevant to the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, just saying.
Trust me.
Yeah, it's true.
If these two girls were white,
you would have.
Yeah, we would have heard about that right away. Let's go to that next link here.
Oh, so you're assuming the girls are black?
They are black. We saw the video.
Oh, they are? They are black.
Yeah, we watched the video here on the show. I don't know if you remember. You may not have been here.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
So remember, this 15-year-old was charged as tried as a juvenile. No. The next link down after that one here, the one I'm highlighted on. It's from NBC News.
Bing, bing, bing.
We are not going to do that one today, that other story. All right, so we've got this one. Florida teen charged as an adult in rigged homecoming queen election.
What?
Emily Rose Grover was a 17-year-old when she and her mother were arrested in March. She turned 18 in April. A Florida high school student who is accused of working with her mother to rig a homecoming election is being charged as an adult, a prosecutor said. Emily Rose Grover was a 17-year-old when she and her mother, Laura Rose Carroll, were arrested in March on several charges, including unauthorized use of computers, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and criminal use of personally identifiable information. She turned 18 in April. Assistant State Attorney John somebody told NBC News on Wednesday. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement began investigating in November when the Escambia County School District reported that there had been unauthorized access into hundreds of student accounts. Carol, who works at Bellevue Elementary School in Pensacola, and her daughter allegedly used Carol's credentials to gain access to student records on the district Focus system. The FDLE said that the mother and daughter accessed 372 high school records beginning March 2019. Most of the records that were hacked belonged to the Tate High School students where Grover was a student. Authorities said that they also used the system to cast hundreds of votes in the homecoming election at Tate. According to an affidavit obtained by WKMG-TV, the district used a third-party vendor so students could vote for a homecoming court. Carol's daughter was crowned queen in October. According to notes, that's so funny. So she got away with it for a while. So I don't want to read much into that, but did we just read that a woman or an idiot child, 15-year-old,
17-year-old?
No, the carjackers.
Oh yeah.
Killed a man and carjacked him, and were not tried as adults.
Mm-hmm.
This white kid and her mom hacked into the system so that she can get votes and become the homecoming queen.
That has no effect on life. That has no effect on real life.
And she's going to be tried as an adult. Now, she's not going to get no death penalty. 17-year-olds when she and her mother, Laura Rose, we read that part.
And she turned 18 in April.
She turned 18 in April. So I don't know. But she can be charged as an adult now.
But it's a homecoming. That has no effect on real life. This is fake. Homecoming does nothing at all. Taking a man's life is way more serious than hacking homecoming.
Grover was expelled from the high school following the incident.
That's fine. Yes, expel her. Kick her out. Tell her you failed the fucking grade and you got to repeat it.
So I ask you, now we don't know what the punishment is to any of these crimes. Now the punishment fits the other crime, but what I really wanted to talk about was why did this person get tried as an adult and the person who stole a car and drove it as an adult would do didn't? It's mind-boggling, and I just want to know where the white privilege here is. Just that's all I'm asking here. I just want to know where the white privilege that I hear all about is, because it sounds like she's going to get... Now, listen, the girl, the 15-year-old who killed the guy is going to definitely get a harsher sentence. There's no doubt about it. But why not try it as an adult right away?
Yeah.
Why did someone that hacked into some computers try it as an adult and the other one isn't? For literally killing somebody. That's all I got to say about that. All right.
Damn.
That's this show, you guys. We went into...
Man, why you got to end it on a bad note, bro?
Well, sometimes you just have to
Can't you do a tap dance or something?
Sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Can't you sing Man of Constant Sorrow?
This has been another... I don't know what you're talking about. This has been another episode of Emergency Exit Podcast. If you guys like our content, be sure to like... Smash that, fucking go right now and fucking hit that like button right down there.
Hit it real hard.
It's right down.
Thrust it.
We're talking to you, Ian. That's
Ian.
right. Hit it again.
Hit it as hard as you can.
Keep fucking hitting it right now.
Break your
Ian,
phone.
We
Break your phone.
we look forward to hearing from you next week. He's been a little active in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. That's what I'm talking about.
Great. And you guys have been great. We love your company. We love doing this show for you. So if you like our content, share, like, subscribe. Tell your friends, and if you want to really piss off your really like leftist friend, tell them that this show is a very progressive show, and they're gonna be very mad about
Share with them an episode and be like, these guys are so fucking far left, it's crazy.
You're gonna love them.
You're gonna love them.
They're like almost communists.
Yep, they love AOC because we do.
Ain't nothing
She's
wrong
queen.
with that.
That's queen right there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We're all about Fauci. We got the Fauci. Right?
Well, we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to check out the other shows on this network. We've got the Rewatch Party. We've got From the Left Hash eventually again. We've got the Gym.
Yeah.
The Gym Rats. What do we call that show?
I don't know. We
Gym,
got stuff going on.
There's things happening. Check us out on our website, emergencyexitpodcast.com. There you're going to find all the latest news, pictures, and you can also drop us a line. You can give us a call anytime, day or night, 830-875-0637. You can leave us a message, and no doubt we will play it
Leave
on the
us
air.
a voicemail, and we'll answer you back live on the show. How great is that?
Ian liked us 3 times.
Yes. Leave us a voicemail, call in, and then, whatever you ask us, we'll answer.
Send us text messages during the day.
Fucking page us.
If you have any sort of news that struck your fancy.
If you have a family recipe that you want to share with us.
If you have a new fucking pair of shoes that you like.
Yeah, if there's a new recipe that you thought about and you're like, hey, fuck it, you know what I mean? Let me just shout them out. Tweet it.
If you guys have a sweet-ass bonsai picture, fucking let me hear it.
Yeah,
I'm always in the market for a good pair of pants.
Yeah, if you have a weird ingrown hair that you don't know where it's coming from,
it's
let us know about it.
Last thing, also check out our merch on our page, you guys. We're gonna have a lot of new shirts. We're gonna have some Joe Biden quote shirts. We have a new design that's
new
coming
logos
out.
are up.
We got new logos
that
are up. And we got our Patreon. You can find us at Emergency Exit Podcast on Patreon. Just search that. I don't know if that's our link or not, but you can search Emergency Exit Podcast.
It'll show up.
Tell your friends. We really need the support lately.
Yeah.
I think we're going to actually try to move away from Friday nights here soon. So let us know if you like what night works for you guys. Yeah. We're going to be on after 10 o'clock because that's the nature of our show.
When do you like to snuggle up on the couch with a little cup of hot chocolate?
A little cup of hot Los and David. All right. We'll see you guys next week. What's that meme I showed you guys? It was like, stop making fun of white people and their lack of rhythm. We'll see you guys next week for Brandon the Hardhead Mitchell, not Jura52, exactly David Aguilar, Tio Tomas, I'm Los. Awesome Los, saying be cool, stay hip. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Damn right.